Thanks for joining us for CBN News Today. I'm Ephraim Graham.
And I'm Charlene Israel. Investigators are piecing together clues about the motive behind Monday's massacre at the Navy Yard in Washington. 13 people are dead after Monday's shooting rampage, including the shooter. 8 people are injured. Today, authorities search for clues about the suspect and why he did it. A deadly shooting in the heart of the nation's capital.
We have an active shooter on the 4th floor.
The FBI says 34-year-old Aaron Alexis was behind the attack. He's identified as a civilian contractor and military veteran, and he had a valid pass and security clearance to enter the Navy Yard. But Alexis's motive is a mystery. Today, authorities are seeking the public's help.
We are looking to learn everything we can about his recent movements, his contacts, and his associates.
The father of the suspect once described his son as having anger management problems. And it turns out Alexis had a history of disturbing behavior. In 2010, he was accused of recklessly discharging a firearm into a neighbor's apartment. And in 2004, he confessed to shooting out the tires of another man's car. But Alexis was not a loner, and friends were shocked to hear he would go on a shooting rampage.
I actually believe that he did that anyway. So he's not that kind of guy to kill people.
Former roommates who lived with Alexis earlier this year in Texas say he was a practicing Buddhist, but they also say he was upset with the military since being discharged in 2011.
He just was upset with the government about all that and just very, he just felt slighted by his benefits and by what he was getting each month.
Meanwhile, the deadly shooting has reignited talk about gun control. On Capitol Hill, Senator Dianne Feinstein said, quote, "Congress must stop shirking its responsibility and resume a thoughtful debate on gun violence in this country." It's still unclear how Alexis was able to get an assault-style rifle inside the Navy Yard. Security requires guests to pass through turnstiles watched by security guards before entering. Investigators say they are confident Alexis was the only shooter.
And joining us now with more is Jessie Jane Duff, a retired gunnery sergeant in the U.S. Marine Corps. She is with Concerned Veterans for America. So the suspect had been discharged from the Navy reportedly over a shooting incident, but he was still given a security clearance as a contractor. Did somebody drop the ball here?
Well, I'd like to see what the investigation shows, because everybody goes through the same security process, and I think a lot of people don't understand that. Even if you're a contractor, the paperwork is exactly the same for all people getting the clearance. And maybe they looked into the incident and didn't feel that he was a threat in some manner security-wise, and his access may have been limited just to the base and an unsecured area. He went and stole an ID card that allowed him to get into that other building.
Wow. Most military employees are not allowed to bring weapons on base. Does that make them targets?
You know, I'm a little torn on this, because while I was on active duty, none of us carried on base, but I constantly had a firearm. I was going to the armory. We had guards on duty. We had ample military police on the location. However, I do feel that your senior level staff, non-commissioned officers, and your officers should be allowed to carry. It just would make sense.
The last major military base incident was the Fort Hood massacre. Nidal Hasan has now been convicted in that case. Did the military miss lessons from that massacre that could possibly have prevented this one?
Well, I think Nidal Hasan was very flagrant. We saw ample evidence in his teachings, his talkings, his writings, his emails. So that was a complete missed opportunity for the military to get rid of him. In this particular case, the man hadn't proceeded to overtly say things that were destructive to the U.S. government or to people. So there obviously something was missed, but it's probably not quite as complex as the Nidal Hasan case.
Some on the left are using this incident to try and revive the push for gun control laws. Would that have prevented the Navy Yard or the Fort Hood shootings?
Quite obviously not, because gun control laws only allow criminals to get a hold of the weapons, and those that are honorable people, such as like myself, wouldn't be able to defend ourselves. So that is a misnomer. It's just not even a fact-based argument.
Any thoughts on lessons going forward as this investigation unfolds?
Well, I think once the IG report comes out, we will see what happened in his background investigation. Keep in mind, in the background investigations, they're good for 10 years. And you're supposed to report any incidents on your honor if anything happens. So I'd like to see when his investigation was conducted, and maybe this faux pas that has him get discharged somehow was overlooked because the military may not have recorded it correctly. Who knows? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
All right, Jessie Jane Duff, thank you so much for your time. As always, much appreciated.
Thank you so much.
The rains have finally ceased in Colorado. Good news as officials continue to search for the missing from the historic flooding there. Officials say at least 8 people were killed by the deadly floodwaters. A week of torrential downpours has also left hundreds unaccounted for, and rescue crews are still trying to evacuate some victims. But other flood evacuees are returning and finding their houses destroyed. About 19,000 homes have been damaged or destroyed. Operation Blessing is there on the ground working with local churches to help victims. OB crews are also providing much needed cleanup supplies as well as prescriptions, diapers, and baby formula.
It's been so great to have Operation Blessing come to be a part of our community. We just don't have the resources and the wisdom that y'all have. You guys have been in so many different situations and disasters, and this is our first round. So we are so thankful for the wisdom that would come from Operation Blessing and organizations like yours that would bring relief.
Volunteers are also offering emotional and spiritual support through prayer.
A new report from the United Nations says there is clear and convincing evidence chemical weapons were used in Syria. The highly anticipated report doesn't say which side is responsible for last month's attack, but the U.S. says evidence shows it was the Syrian regime. The UN report comes after the U.S. struck a deal with Russia to dismantle Syria's chemical weapons. Several Republican senators are criticizing that move.
Well, Syria's 2-year civil war has killed more than 110,000 people and forced as many as 2 million to flee the country. A small number of those badly wounded are seeking help in Israel. Chris Mitchell brings us that story.
This young Syrian man came to an Israeli hospital after a blast caused massive head wounds. He's one of about 150 who have mysteriously crossed the Syrian border into enemy territory for life-saving medical treatment.
Love your enemies. We have a tragedy in Syria, and hundreds and thousands of people, they have no houses, they are injured, they suffer from cold, from pain, and who take care for them?
Dr. Masad Barhoum, a Christian Arab, leads the Western Galilee Hospital in Nahariya near the Lebanese border. They've taken in about 70 Syrians.
I still remember the first one who came to our hospital, major injury in his head from blast trauma, and after 10 days, he was walking.
The 54-mile border between Israel and Syria stretches from Mount Hermon through the Golan Heights. How did the wounded cross? Only the Israeli army knows, and they're not telling. The hospital simply receives a call from the army that they're bringing wounded Syrians.
It's typical war injuries, including shrapnel wounds, including bullets, including blast injuries.
Current Syrian patients were afraid to go on camera. Most are men, but 8 children have been treated, including this 3-year-old girl who came alone and unconscious with severe burns to her face.
And she woke up, and she had nobody around. So she was just crying because she was afraid and alone.
Doctors say the Syrians probably would have died without the Israeli care, and that trauma goes beyond their physical wounds.
They are so afraid, so troubled from waking up in an enemy place, in a place they don't know the language.
About half the hospital staff speaks Arabic, and Barhoum says that and the love they're shown helps the Syrians calm down.
Just to come, say, be calm, I love you, I'm going to help you. And they have a small smile. They make me my day.
And when a patient is well enough, the Israeli army takes him back to the border. Even though the number is small, Barhoum says he and his staff are grateful for the opportunity to help the suffering Syrians. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Nahariya, Israel.
Egyptian security forces have retaken a town that's been ruled by radical Islamists since July. The city of Delga in the southern Minya province is home to more than 20,000 Christians. In the 11 weeks the Islamic militants ruled the city, they ransacked and burned churches and forced Christians to pay them a protection money. At least 2 Christians who refused to pay them the Islamic jizya tax were killed. One of the churches that was burned is believed to be more than 1,600 years old. The security forces arrested 56 people for assaults on police forces, as well as attacks on government and religious institutions.
A Catholic priest is being treated at a Tanzanian hospital following an acid attack in Zanzibar. Police say the priest was badly injured in his face, chest, thighs, and legs. The attack occurred in a crowded part of town Friday afternoon. This is the 5th acid attack in Zanzibar since November. Just last month, an assailant threw acid in the faces of 2 young British women doing volunteer work. Police have yet to make an arrest in any of the attacks.
The American Center for Law and Justice is kicking off a new campaign to free an American pastor imprisoned in Iran. The ACLJ says its letter-writing campaign for Pastor Saeed Abedini is the largest online push in the group's history. The ACLJ wants you to write a letter to Iran's President Hassan Rouhani requesting he let Pastor Saeed go. The group plans to send 1,000 letters every week until the pastor is free. For more on how you can get involved, make sure you visit our website, cbnnews.com.
Coming up, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in September. While some stores are beginning their holiday season early, customers are pushing back.
Hi, my name is Breda. I'm just your typical 9-year-old. I love singing, dancing, reading, discovering the simple truth. My grandpa says you're never too young or old to learn the value of a dollar. He taught me the true value of this paper dollar. You see this little gold coin? It says $1 on it. But guess what? That was a long time ago. Today, this gold dollar is worth over 100 paper dollars. This paper dollar is now only worth 1 penny compared to America's former money, the gold dollar. My grandpa says the only money worth saving today is real money, gold or silver coins. He's pretty smart. How our paper dollars lost their value, he says. It's all explained in a new book, The Great Debasement. It's easy and fun to read. If you call the number on the screen, I will send you a copy totally free. Next time, I'll explain the simple truth about money.
Help! If an emergency happened right now, you can have help at the push of a button with Medical Alert.
Remember when I took that fall, Mary?
Oh, yes, that was terrible.
Yes, it was.
Help!
And I thought, what if you hadn't been there? I ordered my Medical Alert the next day.
I can't describe how safe I feel now with my Medical Alert. You didn't know I was wearing it, did you?
Medical Alert is easy to install, waterproof, and covers you inside your home and out.
It helps me feel safe from fires, break-ins.
And of course, a Medical Alert. And if you don't have a home phone, don't worry. They have that covered.
There's always help at the push of a button. Don't wait till you need it.
Get Medical Alert for less than $1 a day. There are no long-term contracts. Order now and get your second button free. Call for your free brochure.
For your free Medical Alert system with second button free, call 800-575-8507.
Where are we? I cannot log in on our time or location.
Amazing. Which tribe is he from?
You want the savior of the world to be born in a stable?
History's in the making, mister.
Do you want it or not?
Daniel, you have to listen to us.
And who might you be?
You're in great danger.
Master! Master! We are about to drown! Why are you fearful?
I say to you, arise.
I have been healed!
The new president of the Southern Baptist Convention's public policy organization says the Bible Belt is collapsing. Reverend Russell Moore says Bible-believing Christians will increasingly be forced to choose whether they will follow God or the nation's leaders. And he says we are not Americans first. We belong to another kingdom, and we will stand and speak for that kingdom. Moore succeeds Dr. Richard Land as head of the SBC's Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission.
Hundreds of people gathered Monday outside North Carolina's Rowan County Administration Building to support the right to pray before meetings. Return America, a group based near Winston-Salem, organized the rally. Crowding the sidewalk in front of the building, they sang patriotic songs and hymns. Earlier this summer, a federal judge ordered the county commissioners to stop opening their meetings with prayer. They had been sued by the American Civil Liberties Union for opening their meetings with Christian prayers, but not including those of other religions.
A New Hampshire mother has returned to praying at her kid's high school after being banned a month ago. The Concord Monitor reports that Lasarda Urania is praying silently outside the school, but the school superintendent says the district has not made a final decision about whether she can keep praying on campus. Urania has 2 children enrolled at Concord High School. In 2011, she started praying on school grounds after several bullets were found in a school restroom. She prayed aloud as students entered the school every morning. But this summer, school officials told her that the prayers were not welcome after someone filed a complaint with the Freedom from Religion Foundation.
Well, Christmas is more than 3 months away, but some retailers are trying to jumpstart the holiday season earlier than ever. Still, not everyone is feeling that holiday spirit. Retail giant Kmart hopes shoppers catch the Christmas spirit early, more than 100 days early. The retailer recently released an ad for its holiday layaway program.
The time between Thanksgiving and Christmas is the shortest it can ever be on retail selling days. They have to start earlier.
Kmart says the ad, which began running September 8th, is a way that customers can plan in advance in order to take advantage of layaway for holiday purchases. But some consumers complain the Christmas in September ad is too soon, posting comments like, "You don't need to give kids Christmas overload in September. Shame on you." But each year, the Christmas ad crush keeps starting sooner. Garden Ridge and Hobby Lobby stores began setting up their Christmas departments August 1st. Last fall, Target ran its first holiday ad October 7th. And more stores are starting their Black Friday sales, which traditionally began the day after Thanksgiving, earlier and earlier. Last year, Target, Walmart, Sears, and Kmart all opened on Thanksgiving.
Always try to get you to come early, pay full price. The customer will always say, "I'm waiting until the good deal's at the end," and if they don't blink, the retailers will.
Like it or not, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. It's not even Halloween.
I know, but I understand in terms of the layaway. It now would be the time to start.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that, but the rest of it they can keep.
Well, I just hope people just take one season at a time. Let us get to Halloween.
We got a lot to get through.
Then Thanksgiving.
Summer is not even ended yet.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Up next, meet a new breed of superheroes, thousands of small children who are battling the forces of catastrophic disease with the help of their capes. They're coming your way right after this.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand-name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need, just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions, just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card, just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
A sick child battling for life needs all the help and encouragement possible, along with the best medical and care and support from family and friends.
But now children who are seriously ill have access to another weapon to whip disease, a superhero cape custom made for them. David Brody tells us about the woman behind this unique approach to helping kids heal.
The Man of Steel. Watch out, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman 2. Time to step aside. The new superheroes are in town. Meet Super Anthony, Super Remedy, Super Mikey, and there are thousands more like them. Young children across America outfitted with superhero capes as they battle the forces of disease. The force behind this league is Robin Rosenberger, owner of Tiny Superheroes in Seattle. Last year, she made a few capes for fun, and then she sent one to a girl with a severe skin condition. Then a few other sick kids, too. And now, the closet cape is full with requests pouring in from almost everywhere. 1,700 kids around the country wear these capes branded with their first initial for the whole world to see. Robin quit her job as a software manager to keep up with the demand.
It's quite life-changing to, first of all, know how many kids are out there that are dealing with something quite extreme. And then it's also just been life-changing to see how a pretty simple piece of fabric can really change the perspective on what's going on.
That piece of simple fabric is important to 7-year-olds like one-of-a-kind Super Cameron.
Super Cameron is amazing. I love him.
He was adopted a few days after his birth, and then at age 2, doctors diagnosed him with restrictive cardiomyopathy, a fatal heart condition. Without a heart transplant, soon he'll die.
The issue is that they go into sudden cardiac death. So it's something where you have no warning. It just all of a sudden the heart stops.
He is now first on the transplant list, and that means carrying a pager at all times, ready and hopeful that it will bring good news. Why is it going to beep?
Beep because they might have a heart.
Cameron is no doubt deserving of his superhero cape. One time during a 3-day hospital stay, doctors took 16 tubes of blood, but Cameron was concerned with normal kid stuff.
Every time the doctor comes in, I ask her, can I have a bicycle? Can I have a bicycle?
Those times in the hospital did make him think of what he wants to be when he grows up.
I want to be a doctor.
Why do you want to be a doctor?
Because I want to help other kids to be healthy.
Maybe helping others will come soon for Super Cameron, but right now he just can't do normal kid stuff, and that's why his cape is so important to him.
It helps with his confidence. Like when he's outside playing with his friends and they want to like go play ball, he's like, hey, let's play superheroes, and I got a cape, and so we can do this and that. And it kind of keeps things localized, and it keeps things at his level and gives him some control over his life.
Cameron's family knows that ultimately God is in control of it all.
If we didn't believe that God was going to take us through this, then I don't know how we'd do it.
Cameron's mom set up a Facebook page called Psalm 147:3, the verse in the Bible about how God heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds.
It just seemed so fitting because Cameron's heart is broken and he's going to have to get a lot of wounds in order to fix his heart. So that That verse just really spoke to me.
And as Cameron prayerfully waits for his new heart, he plays with his sidekick brother, Spencer. And he reads up on his Bible.
I got a huge Bible.
You got a huge Bible?
Yeah.
In the meantime, Cameron is busy raising some money for those hefty medical bills. $5 a piece for a Cameron's Hope bracelet.
Here you are, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The beauty behind the Tiny Superheroes effort is that this is not just about sewing capes. It's about self-esteem, empowerment, and working together with families to raise cash, awareness, and hopefully medical help for the kids.
These kids aren't sad and feeling sorry for themselves or weak in any way. They are more joyful and more strong and more brave than I ever was at their age with no health problems.
And now they've got their superhero cape ready to conquer the battles ahead. David Brody, CBN News in Seattle, Washington.
Grace, music is unpredictable.
I know I have what it takes.
The Dove Foundation raves. Grace Unplugged is remarkable and inspiring. This is not about the music. It's about everything else that goes with it.
Dad, were you watching me?
A moving and meaningful film.
This book, his words shook me. It was like my whole world.
That parents and teens should see together, says Focus on the Family.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna drag her back home?
Yeah, I might. I think maybe you're fighting God. Just stop running.
Grace Unplugged, rated PG. In theaters October 4th.
If you had a choice between going bald and a full head of hair, which would you choose? Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
Yes!
You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. When it comes to hair restoration, no one in the world has more experience than Bosley. The results look completely natural and are affordable on nearly any budget. But the entire process can't be explained in 60 brief seconds. So to find out more about this clinically proven and permanent solution to hair loss, call now to receive your free no-obligation information kit. It'll answer all of your questions about hair loss and hair restoration. Plus, we'll also send you this $250 gift certificate just for calling. Every day you wait, you're losing more hair. So don't put it off any longer. You owe it to yourself to find out the facts. Choose hair. Choose Bosley.
Call 800-868-9957. That's 800-868-9957.
Grace, music is unpredictable.
I know I have what it takes.
The Dove Foundation raves. Grace Unplugged is remarkable and inspiring. This is not about the music. It's about everything else that goes with it.
Dad, were you watching me?
A moving and meaningful film.
This book, his words shook me. It was like my whole world.
That parents and teens should see together, says Focus on the Family.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna drag her back home?
Yeah, I might. I think maybe you're fighting God. Just stop running.
Grace Unplugged, rated PG. In theaters October 4th.
Finally today, Operation Blessing is bringing clean water to communities in Honduras.
Contaminated drinking water there threatens the lives of villagers every day. For example, 10-year-old Marisalita used to get painful, debilitating stomach aches and other illnesses from drinking the dirty water. Operation Blessing teams installed a water tank and purification system in her village and ran plumbing through every home. Now everyone in the community has access to safe and clean water.
We take so much for granted
I
here.
tell you, water
Clean
gives
water.
life, indeed.
Thank God for Operation Blessing.
Very important.
Well, that's it for now on CBN News Today. You can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com.
And tell us what you think about the stories you've seen right here today. You can do that on Facebook or at CBN News on Twitter. Hope you join us again right here next time. Make it a terrific Tuesday, everybody.
If you had a choice between going bald and a full head of hair, which would you choose? Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
Yes!
You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. When it comes to hair restoration, no one in the world has more experience than Bosley. The results look completely natural and are affordable on nearly any budget. But the entire process can't be explained in 60 brief seconds. So to find out more about this clinically proven and permanent solution to hair loss, call now to receive your free no-obligation information kit. It'll answer all of your questions about hair loss and hair restoration. Plus, we'll also send you this $250 gift certificate just for calling. Every day you wait, you're losing more hair. So don't put it off any longer. You owe it to yourself to find out the facts. Choose hair. Choose Bosley.
Call 800-868-9957. That's 800-868-9957.
Introducing the CBN Bible from CBN.com. Now, an easier way to study the Bible and grow in your faith. Highlight your favorite verse. Read separate versions at a glance. Click and read a commentary. Or cross-reference your favorite verse using the Strong's Concordance. All the right tools to study the Bible, all in one place. The CBN Bible, available at cbn.com/Bible or the iTunes App Store.